got to be just about in.
Welcome to the show, everybody. This is the Plumes of Hazard, in case you didn't know. I, as
You
always,
sure?
am your host, the Angstful Vapor. To my left is the lovely, the talented, the bemustachioed Fubaka. And right down there below me is the study of unders, 77s.
Where am I again?
Right down there
I thought
below
I thought
me.
this was Creed.
Creed?
I don't know. It's the first thing that popped into my mind.
No, wasn't it it was Disturbed. That was the one that I looked like, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, that's true. You do.
Yeah, I just need a
No, Creed,
labrae piercing, right?
I think Creed popped into my mind because of old shitty comedy movies.
Mm, mm. No, I can never resist the AVE reference with when he always talks about the comments right down there below me. He always says that and makes me laugh. Um, so, welcome. Oh shit. God, it's lunch.
You're slacking.
Mm.
I'm
Dude,
already
my
halfway
head's
done. If I'm already halfway done with my seltzer, I was thirsty. I wasn't waiting.
So, as you may or may not be able to tell, I had had a nasty sinus thing the last couple of days. It's finally clearing up, but I'm still a little loopy.
From that Sudafed.
No, you know what? I didn't take any medicine because I freaking hate taking medicine. I just sort of wrote it out
As
with
do
some,
I,
huh?
but I don't mind Sudafed.
Yeah, if you get
I'll
the
put
good
it to you
stuff,
this
right?
way. I'll put it to you this way. You take a Sudafed in the morning. By the time I get to work, coffee's optional at that point.
And you will have died in a car crash.
No, it just, Sudafed, you get high on Sudafed. You're just like, you're in peak form like an hour into your day.
Right, but you got to get the good stuff behind the counter, right?
Yeah. If you any like over the counter decongestants, they like work very little and they don't work for very long in my
Right.
experience.
Yeah.
You need that pseudo, get that 12-hour, you're good for a day of work.
Yeah. That when I need it, I have historically been a fan.
I do not advise habitually taking it, but like,
no, if you I have taken
like,
a decongestant once and it was too strong for what I needed, and it freaking like an over dry sinus is worse than having locked up sinuses. It's awful.
Very true.
yeah.
It hurts so bad.
Like,
Anyway,
I remember like once I had to do a lot of like volume work at work.
Yeah.
And what was nice was I had the space to myself. And I basically was dealing with a sinus infection, had a Sudafed, and the day went by like that because I was just working the entire day. It was nice.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I did not.
Good.
What?
It was a cruel mistress. That Sudafed is good.
Yeah. He said, in a COVID world, sniffles can cause stampeding. That's true. That is one of the very reasons why I didn't leave my house for 2 days, because I knew that it wasn't the COVIDs because it was just a sinus thing. And then it eventually, worked its way, post nasal drip and got the sore throat and a little coughing. But I knew what it was. But if I was out in public and started, people would probably freak out. So I just stayed at home. I ate leftovers and I ordered DoorDash once. I eventually started feeling better. I think it was yesterday morning I woke up.
What did you order from DoorDash? Saying you ordered DoorDash is saying I watched Netflix.
Yeah, I ordered sizzling rice soup from a local Chinese place.
Nice.
I was talking to Sean about this the other day. I had not seen it, and I've eaten all over the country and even all over the world. I never see sizzling rice soup except for a couple places around here. You just don't see it very often. But it's like chicken noodle soup, except for instead of noodles, there's like these crispity little like freeze-dried rice bits that you get hot and drop it in there and they go psh. But there's like chicken and shrimp and bamboo and carrots, and it's real good chicken broth.
I love that about being sick. Just like I wouldn't say I'm trying to get sick, but it's also just like my excuse to eat excessively hot and spicy soup.
Yeah, but this is not hot and spicy.
It tastes so much better
comforting
when you're sick. Oh, it's so good. Or get like spicy tom yum soup. That also is very nice when you're sick.
For sure. Nate is right. DoorDash is expensive, but
give me all the nose runs, dude.
Around here, the last couple of months, what with all the pandemic stuff or whatever, I actually bought the I bought the pass or whatever, so I've been
So
using
yeah,
it
I
a
got the
little
free
bit.
trial, and then I canceled it 2 or 3 days before, and then they gave me another free month, and I was like,
Oh yeah, nice.
I
But
did
even
have a
with the
lazy streak
pass,
of where I'd ordered like 8 times in like 20 days.
yeah, I
But
don't know. I assume it's probably somewhat regional, but the there are a couple restaurants around here, namely one of my favorite like fried chicken places. Um, it's more expensive. Just the menu itself is more expensive than just going. Plus, they add the fees and delivery fee too if you don't have the pass thing. And I think that's kind of shitty. Like, it, why are they pack? You know, I can do a drive through and they have to package it and make it the exact same way. So why should they be charging me more to have some dude bring it to me? And I'm already paying him, right? I don't understand it. It's weird. But I think I may cancel it because, to your point, it is quite expensive. And if you're not using it a lot, which is expensive, doesn't really pay for itself. The pass doesn't anyway.
I'm gonna try and see how long I can milk these 3 months for.
Yeah,
I'm just because my thankfully like there are a lot of good like not as shitty places to order. Actually, my preferred Mission Valley styled chain Qdoba is on DoorDash, so I like to order from there.
word.
'Cause you know why? You know what they do that Chipotle doesn't?
What?
A, don't charge you for guac. B, pickled jalapenos. If you make good food and you have jalapenos, you will go far, far places in my heart.
So I've
Say
never
you.
been a huge fan of pickled jalapenos on most things. They're okay. If I want jalapenos, I want like the chili, like the raw chili.
Hmm.
The pickled
You could
ones
just have
are,
raw jalapenos.
huh?
Just have raw jalapenos.
That's what I mean. I would prefer to
So,
have a jalapeno than a pickled
Mm,
jalapeno.
I would agree
so
with it.
I prefer. So I usually just like order their burrito bowls or whatever like specific dish they have that comes in a bowl. If I get a burrito, I do prefer fresh jalapenos. Like if I'm burrito, I prefer jalapenos inside, fresh.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, in a burrito, I definitely don't want pickled jalapenos inside of a burrito.
Because generally, I like the pickly, vinegary taste of a pickled jalapeno in kind of a salady setting with a burrito bowl. So
I'll give you
that's
that on a
just
salady setting, or even in nachos, maybe like ballpark nachos. I'd do some pickled jalapenos on that.
yeah. I've done that when for me, it's more like a if I can use fresh, I'll do it. But yeah, it's more convenient. And I think to use pickle because sometimes I don't want the pickle taste with my nachos. It's all about it's more. It's like a feel thing.
Yeah, and if I'm making like good nachos, I definitely don't want them on that.
Like if I'm making hood nachos, which is with my microwave,
Yeah,
pickle jalapenos,
right.
100%.
Or at the ballpark. That's what I was thinking. Like just shitty ass like nasty cheese and
Yeah,
chips kind of thing,
actually,
and you got beer in you.
so
Yeah,
that's actually what I love about the newish Mets stadium, City Field,
yeah.
is aside from I think from an architecture standpoint, it looks nice from the outside, but even on the inside, it looks even nicer. You can watch the game from anywhere. That's just how the new ballparks are. Anyone in chat that's been to Shea Stadium knows how shit that place was, but it was our shit, right? It was a dump, but it was our dump.
Fair enough.
But the condiments, like they have like a thing, like an island just for condiments and shit near like hot dog stands and whatever. And I was amazed to find they had fresh jalapenos. I was like,
Hmm.
there might be a god.
Yeah.
Might be. I was just like, I had a fuck was it? Sausage and peppers?
Yeah. Bam.
Dude, they fucked my shit up. Those legit some of the hottest jalapenos I had ever had.
Jalapenos are messed up like that, right? Some of them are really
They
not
vary.
hot, and then some of them are like, holy shit, that was hot.
Actually, you know who educated me on jalapenos? Tad.
Todd?
Shaker.
Oh,
I call him Tad.
yeah.
Uh, I think his family to farm grown. They had like, they planted. He grew up on a farm farmish setting, but they grew jalapenos, and he said, yeah, just by nature, they vary hilariously in severity.
Yeah, they do for sure. That's what I
'Cause
mean. And
what kind of got me thinking on that was just like, eating so much Domino's over the years, or at least when I do, I always order jalapenos on mine,
mhm.
and sometimes they would be weak as fuck, and some days I would just be like,
Yeah, dying.
because
And
sometimes one falls off your slice and you pick it up and you eat it.
yeah, yeah.
That's how I fuck myself.
And they're
So
like,
now we
"Oh,
have to
hello."
end, now we have to end early so I can get spicy food.
Yeah.
Thanks.
But yeah, because I love jalapenos out of all the peppers in terms of like what I like to just throw most on most things, like on a burger, fucking all day.
So Will just said pickled jalapeno carrots are peak pickled food. I actually made Alton Brown's firecrackers a while back, which are the little baby carrots that you pickle with chilies, like hot dried chilies, and they are really good. They're really really
Okay.
good. It's good to just leave in the fridge and just pop some.
Well, pickled carrot is big fucking deal in Pakistan. Just saying.
Pickled carrot in Pakistan, is that right?
Yeah, pickled carrot, mango. Mango's the shit. Pickled mango, bro.
I've never had pickled mango.
Oh, it's so good. It's like it's eaten kind of as a garnish with food
Yeah.
because it's so concentrated and so goddamn pickled and full of masala and God knows what.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had points of I've like had addictions to it. It's called a general term is achar, which refers to just pickled stuff, but the three best pickled stuff, at least the way Pakistani people do it, because there's like an oil process. Sometimes you get like the shit at the grocery stores that's like soaked in oil.
Mm-hmm.
Pro tip: never ever fucking ever spill that oil.
Oh,
Like it on a clothes. It is
evil.
evil.
Yeah. I can see that.
But yeah, the carrots, mangoes, and even like the green chili peppers, also very nice pickled. They like you'll get the mixed ones at an Indian grocery store, and they'll have lemon in there. Do not get anything that has lemon in it. If you can find mixed pickle and mango, or rather pickled mango and carrot, that's the hardest one to find because that's the one that everyone buys. But it's for a reason because that's the best combination. Because if you buy a mixed one, then you've got everything, including lemons, but you do get the peppers, which are dope, as I mentioned. But yeah. But my favorite though is the homemade shit I get from my aunt.
Yeah.
Because it's a dry pickle, minimal oil involved. So yeah, the spices on it and whatever oil is there will stain your shit, but you're not dealing with splashy amounts of oil inside of a container.
Right.
But it's also, it's homemade, like I know that she fucking left those carrots and peppers out for like an entire day in the sun. Kind of like how you put sweet tea in the sun for a day. To steep.
I don't make sun tea.
Because you got to dry that shit out.
Yeah. I don't make sun tea, to be fair. I have made it before, but I don't make sun tea. It takes too long. Too long. Yeah.
So Will, the outsides of the carrots are mushy, but the inside is crunchy. That's what I love most about it because I like the mushy outside with a firmer inside.
Well, and Will's talking from the land of one of my very favorite pickles, which is jardiniere, right? Hot peppers on an Italian beef sandwich is one of the best. Like, so it's like the cauliflower and the carrots and all the hot peppers in there and stuff. That's so good. I love that shit. I could eat that with a spoon.
Oil and vinegar.
Yeah.
So I think I did. One of my friends told me to do salt, pepper. Well, no, I declined on the salt. I did because I think it was just a bit excessive at that point. But oil and pepper and black pepper. Yeah, oil, vinegar, black pepper on like a classic Italian sub. Pepperoncinis on it.
And again, this is coming from somebody. I actually am super sensitive to vinegar. I am not a big vinegar fan. Because we were talking about this in chat the other day. If too much vinegar can ruin an entire dish to me, in my opinion, because that's all you can taste. At least on my palate, a little bit too much vinegar, and you could pour it on a sponge or whatever, right, and just eat it. It'd be the same thing because I just can't taste anything else. But jardiniere is different. A good pickle separated from food, just eating a pickle out of hand, awesome. But just like vinegar in things, you got to be real careful with it. But the right amount's good.
I mean, so like the chicken corn soup my mom would make.
Chicken corn
It's
soup,
dope.
that sounds delicious.
Because she would do the broth. She would do the broth first with the bones. And I mean, not all the chicken would go into the soup. Save some to make like chicken salad sandwiches and shit. It's dope.
Yeah.
That aside, so she'd make the soup, and she would leave big enough pieces of bone in there that you could just fish them out as you're eating, because you wanted to leave that bone in there.
Yeah.
When you're making the soup, because if she tried to sift them out, you would lose too much. So, yes, I chomped on one a few times.
Right. Addie just posted the wiki for the Scoville scale, which is good. It is one of the funnier scales in science, in my opinion, because of how, like, kind of ridiculously unscientific it is. I mean,
Like
originally
the,
it was like how many squirts of sugar
like
water
the-
has to neutralize
like-
this hot pepper kind of thing. I always thought that was
What's
kind
the
of
really
funny.
lame thing they use for hoppiness?
What? Sorry.
What's the one for hoppiness they use? That's another bullshit one.
The one for what?
Hoppiness of beer.
Oh, I don't know.
There's a MBUs, I think, is the measurement they use. This is where I need math. God damn it.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like it is, because it just gets a point where the spicy is just no fun.
Yeah.
If that's your thing, sure.
I
was
love spicy
about
food.
that life. I was about that life at one point. Like, me and my friends were broke in college, and it was like there was one place we went to in particular, and it was that time where we weren't sure if our shit was gonna clear if we gave our fucking waitress the credit card.
Yeah.
But this particular place had I think it was on Thursday nights. If you could do their hot wing challenge, your whole party eats free.
Your whole party eats free. Damn. Yeah, that's right. And that's the other thing. That's why I was going to talk about that wiki page, because I scanned it real quick and look. And there is a range for where it lists jalapeno, but Will's right. That's what we were talking about a minute ago, because jalapeno goes from like, hey, man, this is, mildly warm, to holy crap, that was as hot as habaneros that I've had. I mean, some of these jalapenos are so hot.
So, long story short, I took a charge in the lane for the team.
Yeah. Did you pay for it the next day or that night?
So I think the worst part about it was actually the mouth part, just because like all of this was the next
Just numb.
day. I'm numb. It was all fucking peely and shit. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't really enjoy food the next day because of how raw the inside of my mouth was.
Yeah.
My poop was not as bad as I thought it would be.
No.
Because I had a good buffer.
You had what?
I had a good buffer, like
Okay.
in terms of what I'd eaten that day leading up to it. I ate pretty good stuff, generally speaking. Nothing too acidic or anything like that.
No, that's good.
So
It
was definitely like premeditated. Like, guys, let's go crazy tonight. I'm gonna do the hot wings. We're gonna get a fucking $200 tab on the house, $300 tab.
That's I'm with you though. I enjoy spicy food and hot sauces and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
but there's like a limit, right? To where
you
like
put it
vinegar,
in front of me today.
you can't taste it anymore, right? It's just hot. That sucks.
Yeah, not even just vinegar hot, just straight spice.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like vinegar
Like,
in that a little bit too much is too much.
Yeah, like even like Tabasco sauce, I don't really fuck with it that much anymore. I used to be all about it, but I've gone with like simpler stuff since. Like I discovered because Tabasco is the
Cholula.
first good hot sauce I discovered. Yeah, Cholula is like
Tio's. Tio.
from Costco.
Ah, there you go. Cholula's awesome.
I was under my
Valentina.
bed because I probably forgot about it.
Valentina is usually cheap and it's quite good for
Dude,
what
Louisiana is good.
Louisiana hot sauce is pretty solid.
Louisiana is like where it's at because I think it's like a Tabasco light. It's not as bitey,
Yeah.
but it's got just the right amount. Cholula, fucking, the Mexican one's the Tapatio, the Yucateco.
Tapatio is also very good. Tapatio and Tio, there's a Tio somebody. It was an Uncle somebody, and I can't remember. There's
Is
another
it
one.
Uncle?
There's another one that's very similar
I
to
know what you're talking
Tapatio,
about.
and I can't remember what it is, but it's also that because I really like those guys because they're a good amount of heat, but they're not super vinegary, which is really good. I like that. Cholula is like that too.
Green Cholula is actually really good.
Green Cholula is good. They've got a they got a Chipotle one that's good. I like the Chipotle one too.
Smoky hot sauces, I'm iffy on. Just smoky in general, I'm iffy on. Outside of like, yeah, like I think there's one smoky salsa at a Mexican place I used to go to that's fucking dope.
So Will
But
just listed my problem with going to Thai places because Thai places, especially if there's a Thai chef back there, if you order it hot, they're going to make the white boy cry. So I don't order it hot. If it's out of 5, I usually get a 3, and that's usually
bruh,
just right.
If you're eating anything from Southeast Asia, and they ask you how hot you
Uh-oh. Hold on, you've locked up.
not go past PD.
Your shitternet has
That's
is acting up there, buddy.
Back in the day, just like if you asked me today to do like, god damn it.
All right, you're back. You're back. You're back.
Like, yeah. So
the last thing you heard was Southeast Asia.
Yeah, if you're eating anything from Southeast Asia, you don't go past medium.
Yeah.
Even it makes me sweat. Even
Right.
granted, like I'm not as tolerant as I used to be, but yeah, I don't fuck around. Like Southeast Asian food and Caribbean food, those are like two of the spiciest foods I've eaten. Two of the spiciest cuisines.
I mean,
if I had to narrow it down to a country, I would say Vietnam. Vietnamese food is probably the spiciest I've ever eaten.
They do, and Thai, in my experience, Thai is pretty damn hot too.
Thai is not that far behind.
Yeah.
It makes me think of my equal love and hatred of banchan. Because like but like their spicy sauce is so good on their chicken, but it's also just a little bit too much for me for the most part. And I end up having to drink about a gallon of water, and then I feel sick. So like I really just want them to have like that sauce, but like maybe in a medium instead of a hot.
Garlic ginger is the way to go with their wings. IMO.
The garlic ginger is really good. The whatever the other one is really good, but their hot sauce is really, really delicious.
It's really good, but it's also like
really, really fucking hot.
Yeah.
It's about peak spicy flavor.
Yeah.
For me.
I want banchan now. I haven't had banchan in fucking forever. But like their chicken's really good.
They closed 2 locations in NYC, unfortunately. Which sucks because that was like
I don't think I've seen one since I left Maryland.
Yeah, there's a few in NYC. There's actually one not that far away from me, come to think of it. I should go there sometime. But the one by my brother's old place closed in Queens, and then the one by my old office in Midtown, I think, closed too. That was like the slowest one out of the bunch. But yeah, the one closest to me is like in a pretty heavy Asian neighborhood, and it was pretty fucking busy when I was there a few years ago.
That's right. Josh was talking about like the capsaicin extract hot sauces are the ones that are just not any good. They don't taste good. They taste like pain, right? And that's not good.
It's not a pleasant experience.
No, it tastes like it's all bitter, and because that's what capsaicin is, just bitter, and it kind of metally. Like he even said it, it's metallic kind of taste. It's awful.
I'll ask you this much: do you use garlic extract? No, you just use fucking garlic.
Right.
Well, if you put garlic in anything, it tastes better anyway.
Absolutely, garlic is the
garlic
best.
Powder, garlic cloves, however, whatever. But you don't use garlic extract. You use the real shit.
Yeah.
And the Carolina Reaper, that shit was like. I want to use the analogy I can't use because the show is too fresh because of spoilers. It's from The Boys. Never mind. But anyway, but yeah, Carolina Reapers are like they're not natural.
Right. Yeah. No, the people are breeding them specifically to say, "I've got the hottest one, man."
It's the most fucking America thing you could do.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Josh was talking about the 1 chip challenge. Have you ever done that?
No,
me either.
Did you see that morning show host who ate it and then washed it down with coffee and made it worse?
No.
She threw up.
I bet.
Like, I learned that lesson from all the times I'd spent at IHOP and eating breakfast at diners.
Yeah.
How bad it feels when I'm eating like eggs with Tabasco and black pepper on it. how much coffee sucks sipping like not long after you
Yeah,
take a
it doesn't
bite,
taste good.
you know?
Yeah.
So
So
that's a
there's
woman that
a
never put. That's a woman that doesn't put any hot sauce or black pepper on fucking anything.
On anything. Yeah.
there's a game show that came out relatively recently that's amusing because if you watch Parks and Rec, it has one of the Ben Wyatt from Parks and Rec is the host,
Okay.
and Ryan Reynolds is the narrator.
The narrator.
Yeah, so like he narrates this game show.
Okay.
It's quite funny, but the name of the show is Don't, and it's basically like all the things you would not do normally. So one of them is a hot food challenge, and they basically put a dude on a treadmill in front of heat lamps, and they feed him progressively hotter food. And I mean, like, it's apparently hard to leave the show with like less than 100 grams.
Sounds like an offshoot of Hot Ones.
Yeah, well, that's only one of the challenges. Like, there's a lot of different ones.
What I mean is like, just
It's
the
not
whole
like
eating.
It's not a
eating
super
spicy
good
food for
show,
game.
but I like Ben Wyatt, and Ryan Reynolds is funny as shit. And as a narrator, he's funny as shit too, which is why I started watching it. Like, I don't even know that I would recommend it unless you're a big fan of those two people.
Yeah.
And then it might be worth it.
Truffle oil is a scam. Yeah. Truffle oil is like the other two things we talked about with heat and vinegar. Truffle is like that, but worse because even the tiniest amount can be too much, right? Like a drop of truffle oil is usually enough to be plenty of truffle oil.
MSG, dude.
Dude, MSG is the bomb.
You'll go to the promised land if you use the right amount. You use too much, you fucked up.
I don't think I've ever used too much.
I haven't, because I've been, at least the way my mom taught me, is to be very incremental with it in taste. But what's his face?
Uncle Raja.
Oh yeah, Uncle Roger. Rayon was making fried rice. He put too much MSG in it, and he tasted it.
Yeah.
If you use too much MSG, it gets very fucking bitter.
Yeah.
No good.
That's interesting. I normally do use it relatively sparingly, but often
exactly.
just on meat, right?
I also don't know that many people who have used too much MSG because they're probably all taught the same way to apply it, like I was. Which was be very incremental in taste. Gotta taste your shit.
Yeah. Fish oil. Yeah, fish oil for sure. You gotta be careful with that as well. Or fish sauce you can be a little bit more generous with if you're cooking something Vietnamese or something like that, right? But
what is it that Chuff was telling me something he swears by to put in turkey burgers? What was it? He was talking about oyster sauce. He swears by it. He says,
is that right?
Next time I make turkey burgers, he's like, put oyster sauce in. I'm just like, put in a little bit, mash them up with a little bit of oyster sauce on top of whatever else you put in there. I'm like,
I'll be safe there because I'll never make a turkey burger. It's fine.
I like to mix it up. What can I say?
Yeah, Uncle Raja. That guy.
And you would eat one of my turkey burgers, so shut the fuck up.
I would eat one of your turkey burgers because you say it's good.
Bomb.
If you say it's good, I would try.
You know why? Because there are things that you could do with the turkey burger that you don't want to do to a beef burger.
Okay.
Which is dress it up, right? Because a flat out turkey burger is just going to be kind of bland, but you can put cumin in it, put a little chili powder, like dried red fucking chili powder, not the McCormick bullshit. A little bit of onion powder. And it comes out really, 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 really fucking good. I was actually like surprised how good it came out.
I think I've only had bad turkey burgers, which is probably why I'm biased, because it's so easy to overcook them and they're dry and awful.
Dude, one of the things I miss about work right now is the cafeteria, because the dude I know, he's like the good chef, meaning like when he's cooking, like the line at the cafeteria is the longest because he makes everything.
He's got it down.
He's got everything down.
Yeah.
All the specials. Like I get burgers from him. That's what I have him make. Beef or turkey. He makes them both really good.
I don't know, Will. I don't think MSG was the victim of the man. I think MSG was the victim of early forms of Karens. Oh, I got a headache from this Chinese food.
Oh yeah, no, that is absolutely the war on heavy metal, MSG, bacon. Dude, bacon almost did not survive the 80s.
Yeah.
Those are political Karens, the war on heavy metal, when Dee Snider showed him up in front of Congress. was Congress. Not I don't know if it was the House or the Senate, but yeah.
Hmm.
You know which clip I'm talking about.
I do.
It's great.
I can't remember.
Otherwise, D. Snyder's fucking weird.
Yes.
From Long Island.
So yeah, you're right. Uncle Reg is one of his characters, and I forget his real name. But I went through after I saw the first episode where he was the first one that I saw was when he was taking apart that the British lady who.
Oh yeah, dude, Uncle Roger's the shit.
And then he got into
Chuff used to send me his stuff all the time. I never kept up.
And then he got into Jamie Oliver, and then he did like a thing with Hersha, I think her name was, or whatever. He did, like went to Chinatown with her, which was really funny. Anyway, so when I started watching those first couple of ones, I went poked through his channel a little bit, and he's a stand-up guy, and he's pretty funny. He's not hilarious. I think Uncle Roger's his funniest thing.
Yeah, I feel like there are people, like I always say this every so often, some comedians excel at stand-up but suck at sketch comedy, and it's the other way around.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle's one of the people who can excel at both, right?
Right.
Put the gold standard. Like, and then there are other comedians who get shows, and their sketch shows suck.
Yeah. Right.
Like, I think, like, the Key and Peele, for instance, has come the closest, in my opinion, in terms of quality sketches, but it's very hit or miss.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Uncle Roger, the character, I fucking love him.
Yeah, it was great. But yeah, and you're right. Even with all the MSG scare thing, I loved the fact that the brand, that accent brand, seemed like it made it right through, because I called it a meat tenderizer or something, right? And they didn't. All it is MSG, but it didn't say MSG like on the front, like it just is in the ingredients on the back, which I always thought was funny.
This is a voltage regulator.
What?
Right. I said this is a voltage regulator.
Oh, right. Yeah, exactly. It's all in how you label it, right?
But you know, I am glad that the girl from BBC did redeem herself, because she's cute as fuck.
Well, I wasn't sure, you know, and it's gonna crush me a little bit, I think, if I find out that they had planned all that beforehand. Because like they got tight pretty quick.
I don't think they planned it. Like, he roasted her, and she was just like, she's like, I was cooking their recipe. Like, I can believe that. Right. I wasn't doing my own thing. This is what they asked me to do.
Yeah. But I mean, if it is legit and that's how it really went down. It
still doesn't mean that her parents might have seen it and broke their fucking hearts.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
But I did like that the fact that, again, if that wasn't a manipulated sort of situation, if that did happen naturally, I thought she ended up being really funny herself.
I think what happened, and I think the internet kind of escalated it, if you will, kind of brought it along further than it would have ordinarily.
Yeah.
So it was almost kind of wholesome of the internet in some ways.
Yeah.
I was ready to. I mean, I myself was ready to kill her watching her cook that rice.
Yeah. What the other one that I mentioned, God, like in June or July or something, is Nat's What I Reckon, which is it might be the best channel on YouTube as far as cooking goes. I absolutely love that guy. He is so funny, and the latest one that he just put up is particularly good. Oh God, what was it? Now I'm trying to remember what it was. It was a bechamel sauce, I think. And it was in a jar, and he was, you know, he made some very off-color jokes about it. He's Australian and prone to swear.
I miss about having cable was watching Martin Yam on TV, just his reruns. Because Twitch does cooking. They don't like run like dedicated block. Like I don't think they do good enough blocks of Martin Yam. They need longer ones. He's like one of my favorite all-time TV chefs.
Which one?
Martin Yam.
Oh yeah.
So simple.
Yeah.
Him, like, because that's the thing. I'm still on like the TV chefs I grew up on.
Martin Yang. No.
Yang.
Yeah.
Martin Yang or Yam? I always forget.
Yan. It's Yan because it's Yan Can Cook. I remember that was one of the very first. So when I was a kid, the first ones I saw was old reruns of Julia Childs and Justin Wilson. Do you remember Justin Wilson? Was that a regional thing?
I've heard of Justin Wilson. I basically watched whatever my mom liked.
Yeah.
And I don't think if Justin Wilson was on TV, he was not my mom's preferred. Nor
Well,
was Julia Child.
He was
She's just,
thick accent Cajun, right? Like deep
definitely
South.
Not. I definitely grew up watching him.
And a trip. The guy was awesome. But so you get old reruns of both of those. But then one of the few ones that I watched live was Yan Can Cook. It was Martin Yan, and I loved that. I thought that was one of the things that I really that taught me to enjoy cooking. Besides being in the kitchen and practicing and learning with my mom, but Yan on the TV, that was one of the first things I ever saw cooking wise on TV. And now it's obviously a few years ago they got our own channel and then channels because the Food Network went the MTV route, right, and they quit doing what they used to do and they started just doing game shows and shit, so they had to make another whole channel.
Because all the people ultimately all the people that watch their shit started getting old and dying. Basically, I mean, that's some of the TV I grew up. Part of my television upbringing was old people shit.
Absolutely,
daytime television, and all that. Those kindergarten half days, afternoon television.
That's right. Hey, Festy knows what I'm talking about. I guarantee. Yeah, that's right.
I've seen him. They've shown him on Twitch.
Oh, I'm sure.
I love about Twitch because Twitch does cooking, like just runs cooking, like television cooking shows, like from back in the day, like all fucking.
They were doing Bob Ross too for a while, weren't they?
They do that once a year. They do the Bob Ross marathon.
Yeah.
Some of the most wholesome Twitch chat you'll ever see. Real talk.
Is that right?
I think I've referenced it in here in a previous episode, but the first Bob Ross marathon I watched, that was like consistent 100K viewers, like 24/7. It was pretty great.
That's awesome.
And Bob Ross does his thing when he cleans his brush, he dips it in the thinner, taps it, and then beats the devil out of it.
That's right.
And every time you do that, the whole fucking chat would just cascade with Rip Devil.
Yeah, that's right.
It was so fucking funny.
That's right, Josh.
It was just hilarious because that was a big part of my childhood, and it's just funny that we can make wholesome humor out of that.
Mm-hmm. That's right, Josh. PBS was a cooking channel, and there wasn't very much cooking on it, but there's some good ones on there when you got it.
But who's the French guy that I used to watch? Jacques Pepin.
Mm-hmm. Pepin. He's a super fancy guy these days, right?
Yeah, we watch him sometimes. Like, I grew up in a Muslim household. We didn't eat pork, so anytime he'd be cooking something pork related, my mom would change the channel because it was more of like, I'm never gonna try to cook this shit. Why am I watching it?
Right. I should mute.
But yeah,
sorry.
Watched a lot of him, and then there was like the exaggerated Italian guy, the fake Italian guy.
Mario Batali, the redheaded Italian guy.
No. This guy had dark hair.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't big time like Mario Batali.
Okay.
He would say on. He wouldn't call them onions. Call them onions.
Onions.
Risotto. This guy's such a cheese ball. Literally, I mean, it's just funny. He loves his cheese too.
Right.
He made some bomb food, but his personality can wear on some. He's more like a meme to me than anything.
There's a length of time for a joke, right? And sometimes if you ham it up too much for too long, it's like, okay, I get it. Mm-mm.
Who was the dude with the goatee? I think his name was Jim something.
His name's the Angel Vapor.
No, he like dresses like he fishes, kind of like you think he fishes because he's got like that goatee, he's got that, always wearing a hat. He used to be a big old dude, right? And just like his product placement was so fucking hilarious. Like he was using Filippo Barrio olive oil. They were sponsoring it, and he was just like kind of place it a certain way. He got big time. That's when he knew he got big time. And then he got skinny and started doing bullshit cooking with alternatives and shit. I'm like, low cholesterol this. I'm like, nah. Can't sit through this, man.
So the only thing that I can think of,
Slash shave his head, it's like
the only thing I can think of with Dan Aykroyd and cooking is the Super Bass-O-Matic. Remember the Super Bass-O-Matic?
Yeah.
I haven't thought about that sketch in a really long time. That was well before my time, obviously, but I definitely have seen reruns.
There was like one French chef, or I think it was French or Dutch, I don't know. But there was like this show that I don't remember growing up that I may have watched, where they basically showcased chefs from around the world. It's in that same kind of cheesy-ish, but a lot of the chefs were Europeans. So you had different camera angles and such, and different views, and they were actually, in a lot of cases, they were in a real kitchen.
Yeah.
So that part was cool. It was just them in the kitchen doing their thing, and so that was definitely cool. But it was always funny. The subtitles would be like sizzling or something, in italics and shit.
Yeah. You get the text, the voice.
And so the subtitles wouldn't always catch up, and then it says speaking in foreign language.
Yeah. Laughs in French.
Yeah, laughs in Spanish. I think that's where the meme comes from, right? Was that from The Simpsons?
I don't remember.
I know they poked fun at subtitles by doing something of similar nature.
Oh shit, Graham Kerr. I haven't thought about him in forever. I remember him too. Yeah, I think Josh says, I think most of us in here are pretty like-minded. That's probably true. I mean, there's probably a very specific sort of personality type that's going to sit around and watch three doofuses just jab around about something for an hour.
Three custard vaping fat dudes.
You mean two doofuses and somebody to pad out the lineup?
Hey, I said no worries if you weren't around.
Mm.
I just haven't had a lot to say on this topic.
You don't watch no TV cooking growing up?
No.
No, Sean never. I don't think we've ever talked about like cooking, like food.
Like we've talked about it here and there.
I mean, with me and Sean specifically.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you and I, Fu and I have talked about food and cooking quite a bit. But
food.
Sean, I know Sean enjoys food. I just don't think he enjoys making it.
Breakfast.
I
can make
breakfast is my favorite thing to cook of all the meals.
I can make a mean breakfast. That's about all I'm good at.
I don't know, just cooking egg just makes me happy every time.
Yeah. You know what I haven't made in a while that I really now I've got it in my head. I may make some this weekend, some popovers. I do enjoy a popover.
Ooh.
Yum. If you don't know what a popover is, you should know what a popover is. They're delicious. It's like a small Yorkshire pudding, sort of.
I just realized I missed dinner.
Yeah, I did too. I haven't eaten all day today.
Like I didn't eat until 3:30. I think that's why. So, damn. It's like late now, and I have to be up early tomorrow. So if I eat now, I'm fucked tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
See, I need spicy food. Like all that I've gotten from this is I have to go get spicy food. So I'm gonna go get spicy food.
I think you should go get spicy food. I need to go get any food. I'm kind of hungry. The only thing I've been eating today is the drainage for my sinuses, which is disgusting.
I'll meet back in 15 minutes for Final Fantasy.
Dude, and you see this morning in the shower, dude, I blew the most satisfying snot rocket ever.
It is a very satisfying feeling when it comes all out.
Dude,
like
it was so goddamn clean. As someone who's, because I just don't have the tubes to get a clean snot rocket every time.
Yeah.
I was just like,
and it's just nothing there. It's like, yeah.
I was like feeling my mustache, like. I was like.
Yeah, horror. I had a bit of a sinus problem the last couple of days. Like, I normally I'll get like a head cold like once every maybe 2 years, maybe a little longer than that. But I do occasionally get them, and I definitely got it this last weekend and early this week. Ugh, that was nasty. It's pretty much all cleared up now. I've got the leftovers from a head cold, which is like everything's just kind of sore. Like all my sinuses are just kind of like been full and swollen for a while. It's kind of it's all drained out, which is nice, but it just kind of hurt. My face hurts, and of course it's in my throat as well. My who was I talking to? I was talking to a colleague earlier, and they're like, "Man, you sound like you could be singing bass in a barbershop quartet." I'm like, I probably could at the moment.
Baby on board. Dude, randomly in the Discord the other week, I sang the entire softball song from The Simpsons. It was just silent in there for a bit for like 10 minutes, and I just did it.
Just belt it out.
Yep, I just did it. Start to finish.
Nicely done. All right, everybody.
If you don't know, if you didn't never seen the softball episode of The Simpsons, fucking watch it. It's one of the best episodes in that show.
Will do.
Especially if you're a baseball fan.
Anybody else amazed at how seldom you get cold since you quit smoking? No, to be honest, Fessy, I know a lot of people say that. I've always been about once every 2-ish years, and that didn't really seem to change before I started quit smoking.
I definitely got fewer. I still get a sinus infection every so often, but it's not the guaranteed once a year anymore. Like the first couple years vaping, I was still getting them once a year, but I think I've skipped a couple years since getting sinus. Like I don't think I got one this past year.
Spicy food time.
The spicy food time. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us out here for the. It just fucking fails. Thanks for joining us out here for a not terribly vaping related lifestyle podcast talking about pickles and spicy food and other shit. And OG TV chefs.
Well, at least Sean knows how I feel when he talks about keyboards now.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Dude, you're gonna make me start coughing. All right, thanks for joining us, everybody. We will be back here, same Plumes time, same Plumes channel next week. I hope you're all well. Stay safe. Wear a damn mask if somebody asks you to. Don't hurt anybody. You know, don't go beating up people.
Don't be a fucking Karen.
Yeah, don't be a Karen.
Like I tell people that in general. Don't be a cunt. I'm still telling you, don't be a cunt.
Bye, everybody.